Hi there, I'm Jamie Taylor. Welcome to Your Health Matters, brought to you by Kingman Regional Medical Center, your community-owned hospital. If you've been watching this program, you know that every week we have a different healthcare professional on the program that talks about different services we offer here at KRMC. I've got a great guest on the program today, so I hope you'll join us. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back to Your Health Matters. My guest today is Amie Vaughn. Thanks for being on the show, Amie.
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
So you're a nurse and RN here at KRMC on the OB perinatal unit, right?
Yes.
So are you a delivery nurse? Are you a baby nurse? What kind of a nurse are you?
All of the above.
All of it. Okay.
Yeah, 3 areas. So
and you cover it all? Mm-hmm. Wow. So you see literally the whole shebang.
Process. Yes.
Very good. How long have you been here at KRMC?
It'll be 10 years in May.
Oh my goodness, you don't look that old. I was thinking you were going to say you were right out of nursing school.
I came here right out of nursing school.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
So did you go to MCC?
I did.
So you've been in Kingman for a while then too?
Yep, since 94.
Wow, you've seen some changes. We've changed a little bit since then.
Yes.
Or during that time, I should say. Cool.
Both Kingman and our hospital.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Been great.
KRMC's grown and matured a lot too during that time.
Yes.
So you love what you're doing?
I do.
That's
absolutely
awesome.
love
well,
it.
in 10 years, boy, you've seen a lot of babies.
Yep.
Well, and part of the other hat you wear is you teach the Safe Sitter class, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about today, is Safe Sitters.
Yes.
That's a fairly new class, right? How long have we been doing that here?
We've only done 3 classes so far.
Okay.
So in the month of March will be number 4.
Very good.
Yeah.
So it's the first Saturday, is that?
That's usually what we've been trying to do.
Okay.
I think the next one coming up is the 2nd Saturday in March.
So I know we post them out on our electronic message board, and we usually try to put a press release out about them as well, so get people educated about it. So let's walk through that process. So it's for mostly high school kids, I'm assuming, that are interested in babysitting, or junior high and high school.
Junior high and high school, right. They have to be at least 11 years old.
Okay.
And a parent calls and gets them signed up through our education department.
Okay, very good.
I have another lady who teaches with me, so if it was just me, it's 8 students, but we've had up to 16 students.
Oh, you have? That's great. I hadn't had a chance to ask how many were taking the class. That's super.
Yeah.
And it's kind of almost an all-day class, right? All-day Saturday?
Yeah, 9 to 4.
Oh, it is. That's
Saturday.
all day. Okay. Do you provide lunch, or do they bring lunch?
They bring lunch. The class is free, so they provide their own lunch, but we provide treats and snacks for them.
Snacks. Very good.
Yeah.
So then at the end of the class, and we'll talk more about what they do in the class, but do they have a certificate, or what happens?
They do, yeah. We invite the parents at 3:30 to participate in the ceremony, and they each get a little certificate. They get a badge that they've completed the course.
They're certified.
That's right.
Sitter. Well, and that's got to, I would think, as a parent with young children, and having to find someone to be a sitter, that would really help me feel better about my choice if I knew they were a certified safe sitter.
Right, yeah, that's our goal. That's why we're hoping that getting the word out with the community that these kids are getting certified, and it's really a lot about safety for both the sitter and the kids that they watch. Very
good. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning then. So they come in at 9 o'clock, the class starts. What kind of things are they going to learn?
They're going to learn, of course, about, depending on the kids' ages that they watch, what's appropriate or not, their interactions with them, being safe in their house. We play games, we play bingo, and it's a lot of interaction in the class. The kids come up and do that kind of stuff.
So when you're saying being safe in the home, what does that mean?
The sitters are taught about all kinds of fire safety.
Okay.
They're taught
in case they see smoke.
Right, gun safety. They're taught about the internet, which we know is a huge thing right now with all these kids. Stranger safety, answering the door, the phone, any type of first aid treatment.
Okay.
We go over the basics. We don't do CPR.
I was just going to ask you if you do CPR.
They're not CPR certified,
Okay.
but we do some first aid and we do choking.
Okay.
Yes,
Because that's
so-
obviously, especially with little ones,
Right.
can happen fairly easily, frequently.
Yes.
Okay.
So just all kinds of stuff, a wide variety of topics
From the safety standpoint.
from the safety standpoint, and then how to interact with the kids.
Okay. So kind of based on their age. I mean, you have different,
Right.
obviously a newborn's different than a 4-year-old.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that we say is babysitting is not just sitting with the baby.
Right.
Depending on the age, there's so many different things
Right.
that they'll be able to do. So we really encourage them doing age-appropriate things. We give them a list of things that they could do,
Oh, good.
depending on age.
So
if
ideas.
it's newborn, toddler, preschool, and school age. Those are the 4 different categories that we break the kids down into.
Very good. I noticed you brought some stuff with you.
Yes, we have a manual that we go
Excuse me.
by. Of course, we have to, as instructors, got to know what we're talking about.
Right.
And then each of the safe sitters gets this handbook, and they take it home with them.
Oh, good. So they have something to
Yes,
refer to.
and we encourage them to take this with them to every babysitting job, because they're going to need to know a lot of information. And that's one of our initial things that we talk about too, is for their own safety, the kids need to get phone numbers and the address and the parents' permission on both sides.
Well, that's really cool. So this talks about getting started safely,
Right.
job screening. So,
Babysitting, yeah, as a business.
Whoop, I'm losing your cards here.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, and it's good. I mean, I have to admit, I babysat a lot a couple years ago when I was a kid. And I have to admit, I didn't have anything like this. That's just really cool.
Right. Yeah.
And things to watch for.
Yep.
There's your first aid. Very cool. Preventing problem behavior. I could have used this too.
Yeah, that's a really great topic that we cover, because sometimes even as a parent, we don't know what to do when
Right.
these kids start
Start
acting
acting
out.
out.
What do you do? So we go through a lot of stuff that they can distract or give choices, make
Timeouts.
right, do different things, yeah, for the kids. We
Very
try
good.
and do prevention, but if the problem happens, then what to do when you do have a kid that's
No
acting
wonder it
out.
takes all day. That's
Yeah,
you're covering a lot of
we do. We
information
cover a
during
lot,
that time.
so-
Now you've got a baby and some diapers here too. What did you do with those?
Well, they do learn how to change a diaper.
That's a
because,
good thing to know how to do.
Yeah, if they're going to watch any newborns, any little ones with diapers, then yeah.
So we have the little model that you use.
Yeah, we have a half a dozen or so, and the kids take turns, yep. How to,
And then feeding. Do you talk about?
we do some with feeding, because with formula, depending on the baby's age, we encourage them to definitely talk it over with the
Parents, you know, ahead of time.
Right. We go through a lot of different choices that the kids can make for their sitter, or for the kids.
Very good.
That's kind of even touched on in the safety. You don't want to feed a little one hot dogs and grapes, and that's
Right.
the choking.
Choking things.
Yeah, so we even tell them what's appropriate snacks and foods to
Very
eat
good.
depending on their ages.
Well, and like you said, having this little book to bring with them, not only is that a good reference for them, but then it shows, again, the parent of the
Right.
child they're watching, they really are
Yeah.
certified. And again, that's going to help set their mind at ease, too.
Yes.
Now, I'm curious if I was the parent of a 2 or 3-year-old, I'm going to go out for dinner. And I would like to have a certified sitter. Do you have a reference number that they can call, or have you done anything like that yet?
No, Safe Sitter, since it's a national program.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yes, they are, what they recommend is just by word of mouth. And we
Okay.
tell that to the kids and to the parents whenever they come, that there shouldn't be any internet advertising. There shouldn't be any bulletin boards at the
Oh, okay,
supermarket.
because I was gonna, okay.
Yeah, it's just by references.
So hopefully your folks know people who
Right.
have kids, and they
Yes.
can mention to them, oh, my son or daughter went through the Safe Sitter class, so
Yes.
if you ever need a sitter.
That's right.
And then once you've done it once, then probably they'll tell their friends, oh, next time you need a sitter, call.
That's
So-
right. That's
so
exactly how
that
we
makes
tell them
sense.
to
It's-
network
yeah.
through school and work. Their, the parents'
Well,
works and
in
church.
our society today, it isn't, I mean, you do have to be, like said, safety for the sitter as well, because you just never know.
Absolutely.
So and I would imagine that's something else you talk about. You want to make sure you know the people that you're
That's
sitting
right.
for, right?
We encourage with every single job a reference check. How did you get my number?
Mm-hmm.
And whoever is wanting to hire them, yeah, they should tell them, well, I got your number from your mom or whatever,
Right,
or
right.
from your friend.
So then they can
So then
verify.
the sitter should verify
so you know
that.
so-and-so.
Yes.
That's, it's sad, unfortunately, that we have to do that, but it makes sense when you
Yep.
hear on the news
Absolutely.
all the crazy stuff that goes on sometimes.
Absolutely.
But I just feel good about the fact that we offer that
Mm-hmm.
for our young people today and for our babies. And that everybody's going to feel it's a win-win.
It really
for
is,
everybody.
Jamie. Each class, we have so much fun, and I encourage them to take life lessons with them too. I mean, 'cause whether it's hand washing or just all kinds of stuff that they can take with them through life.
Yeah, really. Then when they become parents themselves,
Right.
those are things that will come in handy. Those problem behaviors will.
Right, exactly.
That's going to happen whether they're babysitting or it's their own child.
Exactly.
That's really
because
good.
we even cover that up on OB, with
Yeah. With
shaking
you moms?
baby and the
Yes.
moms. So
Yeah.
it really goes through life.
Yeah, that's
So.
way cool. Now we've had 3 classes, and you said you've had up to 16 in a class. So we're over 30 that have gone through this class already.
Yeah, I think, that would be about right. So,
Well, and I was just thinking too, for parents that are looking for sitters, they may have someone that they've already used in the past, but they could ask them if you're a certified sitter, and if not, they could say, well, I know that KRMC offers that class, and I'd really like you to be a safe sitter.
that's right.
So before I hire you again, would you please go and get
Right.
certified?
Absolutely.
So I know you said through education, and that number is 692-4640. I happen to call them quite a bit. You can tell I know their number. So they can call and get more information when the next class is going to be.
Yes.
And if there's spots available.
Right.
And you said the class is free.
It is free.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Yeah. The parents can come down prior to the class, or we do have, as long as they have their name down, they can register. There is a form, like a release form that they would need to fill out.
Okay, it's like when they
So-
bring them in, or they can come the day
Right.
before kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
they can
whatever.
come anytime up to the class, or we even
Okay.
have forms there.
Okay.
But as long as they've called and let
Sure,
education
they can't
know.
just walk in.
Yeah.
You need to know ahead of time how many, just having enough materials for
Exactly.
everybody is important.
Yes.
Now, we didn't talk about where are the classes?
They are held in the Mojave
Oh,
A room
at the hospital.
Yes, at
Okay.
the hospital.
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit more. We're going to take a quick break,
Okay.
and then we'll talk a little bit more about that and how else they can learn about it. So I hope you'll stay tuned because we have more to talk about being a safe sitter, and we'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back to Your Health Matters. My guest today is Amie Vaughn. Thanks again for being on the show, Amie.
Thanks for
And
having me.
you're a you're a nurse up on the OB perinatal unit who also teaches safe sitter. That's pretty cool. So now you mentioned before the break you've been doing this for about 3-4 months, and we've had a pretty good response. You mentioned age group. How old? Youngest to oldest for this?
They have to be at least 11
Okay.
years old. That's non-negotiable. That's a national standard
Okay.
for the class.
Okay.
And we've had up to 13 and 14-year-olds because
Okay.
that's generally the age that you
Usually
see.
by then they've kind of figured
right.
it out. If
The
they haven't.
kids, they're getting into babysitting at
Right.
that point.
That's
so.
a good thing, yeah. And it's a good way for young people to make money before usually by the time they're 15, they can actually get a regular job. But
That's
that's
right.
a great deal.
That's right.
And it is, and like I mentioned before the break myself, that babysitting, that's how I paid, that was my job for many, many years. I started about 11, and I think I was 15 when I finally quit. But even then, those were lessons I learned, and you talked about that before the break too, that helped me with my own kids later.
Right, that's
So that's
absolutely
good.
right. We touch on that the babysitting, it's a service they're providing. It is a business, so they
Right.
need to present themselves professionally, and they're going to have to talk about money with these parents.
I was just going to ask you about that, because we were talking about that during the break, that you even help them know, now what is the going rate for a sitter nowadays? I don't even know.
We talk about it with each class. Everyone has different numbers. Some people say $3 an hour, some
Okay.
people say $4. So, and we encourage them to, when they get the initial information, how long they're going to be babysitting, how
Right.
many kids they're going to be babysitting.
Because that makes a difference
That's
too.
going to make a difference, right?
If
So,
it's just $3, that's fairly easy. But if you got 4 or 5, yeah.
right, then yeah, the price is going up, and they're
Right.
going to need to be comfortable saying that. So
Right.
we encourage them to have a figure in mind, and we say, I charge $5 an hour. Is that okay? We
That's
have
good.
the kids repeat that, get
So do you
comfortable
kind of
saying
role
that.
play with them
We
in
do,
the class? Oh, cool,
exactly.
cool.
We role play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they learn how to do, because that's obviously, especially if they're a little shy,
Yeah.
it's a bigger challenge learning how to talk about that, negotiate
Exactly,
that.
it really is. But that's something that we all have to deal with.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Now you mentioned Safe Sitters, a national organization, so it's been around for a while?
it's been around since 1980, Jamie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was founded by a physician, Dr. Patricia Keener.
Okay.
In 1980, she was an emergency room physician, and she had a case where an 18-month-old child came in and had choking, a choking episode, was at home
With a sitter.
with a sitter, and the child didn't make it.
Oh, how sad.
So yeah, and she said from that point on she was going to make a program.
Because she felt it was something that could have been prevented.
Exactly.
Wow.
So she.
Well, and we kind of talked about that before the break too, how if I'm the parent looking for a sitter, that knowing that the person I'm going to hire has been through that safe sitter class, I'm going to feel much more comfortable,
Right.
feel better about leaving them with my children, knowing
That's
that they've
right.
had those classes. So we talked about they learn first aid, they learn how to negotiate, hold a business, but they don't do CPR.
No.
Is that something you encourage them to take somewhere else? Is it-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I know in the community, at the college, and I think even here.
Yeah, I was going to say they
right,
can call that same number.
same number
Education
and get
does those
signed up
CPR
for-
classes.
Yeah, CPR.
Okay.
And we've had kids that have done that. They've
Oh,
said,
good.
I'm CPR certified.
Oh, so that's cool too.
Yes.
That's an even bigger feather in their bonnet, if you would.
Right.
I'm trying to see, you have actually put together kind of a list for them of things to do with the kids based on their age. I mean, obviously a baby's you not have to worry too much, but when they get to be 2, 3, 4 years old.
Right.
So what kind of things do you tell them to do with the kids?
We encourage them to get down on their level. We encourage them, literally, you have to get down on their little eye level, and we encourage them to read books, play games, color. And I tell them, too, at their age group, 11 to 13, they may not have been able to do these kid things for a while.
Right,
You know,
right.
just the
Or things have
playing
changed
with,
and-
right. So I said, you might find that you're going to have some fun when you're on the floor coloring or reading books or listening to music or singing, things
so it's
like
not
that.
just plopping them in front of the TV and
Exactly.
walking
We
away.
discourage that.
Good.
We say, you're the babysitter, not the TV.
right. Oh, very good, very good.
So-
So you're teaching them to be interactive.
That's right.
Very good.
We ask them to ask the parent about TV time, if at all, and if,
What the parents consider appropriate for them to be watching.
Exactly.
They have a favorite movie or
exactly.
something like that. Yeah. Well, that's those are all good things. And when you're saying that at the end, it's basically 7 hours or 6 hours. It's a 6-hour class from 9 to 3:30, and then the mom and dad can come and they have a little graduation ceremony.
Yep.
They get their certificate.
From 3:30 to 4, they get their certificate and their
little
badge.
so they
and
can put that on their shirt or jacket
Yeah,
or something to show
that's
they're
right.
certified. That's way cool.
Yep.
and then their book that they're going to get to keep. The interesting thing, and we talked about it a little bit before the break too, that you even teach them how to change a diaper, and especially, well, I shouldn't say just boys, but it seems to me the boys have a little bit harder time with that part of it than girls do. I don't know why that is, but that's part of it.
We've had a handful of boys. The majority are girls.
Right.
But we have had a handful, and they're usually the ones that are done the quickest. They just get it done and get their business done, changing the diapers.
Yes.
But there's actually 10 steps according to our book,
Really?
our manual, in changing a diaper. So
all right.
that seems like a lot.
Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me the 10 steps.
Well, let me get this out, and because sometimes even I have to.
I was going to say, I don't know if I know how to do 10 steps.
Let's see.
I was going to say, there's something, I saw something with
10 steps to changing diapers.
Good grief. Oh,
And
well,
of course,
that's, safety comes
safety
first.
comes first. So we really stress that. Yep, safe place.
Okay, let's go through those.
Okay, choosing a safe place to change the infant's diaper on the floor, a changing pad or towel. We tell them no place where the baby could fall off.
Right,
of
on a
course.
couch or a chair or something.
Yep.
Okay.
And then making sure you have all the supplies you need, getting the diapers, the wipes.
Ahead of time.
Ahead of time, within reach.
Right.
Because as a parent, I've done that. You go to change them, and yeah, you're scrambling for for supplies. So, yep. And then Safe Sitter says put on disposable gloves.
Oh, interesting.
So we don't provide them. We tell the kids that they're more than welcome to, but we do stress good hand washing before and after if they are not available to get
have the gloves.
Yes. So then the front and back wiping
right. Okay.
method. Number 5 is patting the infant dry with a clean washcloth to prevent diaper rash.
Okay.
And then gently lifting the infant's legs with one hand, sliding the diaper under the infant's bottom with the other hand. And we have to show the kids, sometimes they've never even seen a diaper, which way it goes. The adhesive tabs go on the back side. So,
and then come around to the front.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you're up to 7.
and 7's up before you fasten the tabs. Make sure the front of the diaper is centered between the legs. And then around to the belly button level. 8, to prevent leaks, bring the adhesive strips around the back and fasten them snugly on the front of the diaper so there are no gaps. And be careful not to stick the adhesive tape on the infant's skin.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's
a good one.
Because I have to. Do you talk at all about cloth diapers? Because
no,
not too many people use those
not anymore.
It used to be after we not worry about poking them with the pin. At least
Right.
You don't have to do that anymore.
That's right. Now it's just the tape on the skin. So. And 9 is just, rolling up all of the old supplies and putting it into a bag. And then 10 is hand washing.
There really are 10
So
steps. I'd have never guessed
I
that.
know, you wouldn't think. So especially when you're trying to get it done and over with as quick as possible.
Right.
But
well, and I guess after you've done it a few times, you kind of just don't think about it. So you've got kids yourself. You mentioned with your own children. How many do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
An 8-year-old little boy and a 2-year-old little girl.
Oh, so you probably once in a while are looking for a sitter too. So now you know who to go
right,
to.
Exactly.
Make sure they've got their certification. That's really cool. Now we want to make sure that people know they can call if they'd like to have their child take the Safe Sitter class. So they're going to call Education 692-4640 is the number.
Yes.
And give them a call and they can set them up. Thank you,
That's
Amie,
right.
for being on the show today and telling us more about this program. And I'm really excited that these kids are able, for free.
For free,
That's good. Okay. Well, I hope you
great.
learned something today. I did. And join us again next week. We'll have another exciting guest on the program then.